message for your team? Is it a continuation of the message that you were trying to penetrate in their minds in the first half, or something fresh for this stretch leading to the postseason? What is it for your group?
I think it's continue on the path we were on. We are trending in a positive direction in pretty much all facets. It's a tricky game tonight for both teams, just with one practice yesterday evening and right back to it. That is, a difficult thing to navigate. So I don't want to overload them with messaging. I want to keep it clear and simple and try to allow them an opportunity to play free and simply share the ball, work together defensively. We can adjust as the game goes on, but I don't want to overload them to start the game with too many thoughts and messages, because it is a difficult scenario. And so I just want to give them the best chance to come out and try to find that rhythm again.
Seeing the way the Celtics are playing leading up into the break, what jumps out at you? You have a very different team than you had in the first meeting between you two.
Well, they're such capable players. You look at Tatum and Brown, Kemba Walker, and Marcus Smart back. This is the healthiest they've been, I think, all year for tonight. So, we're well aware of what they're capable of, and that they've been at this for a few years together. So, it's a terrific challenge for us, and we got to come to play because they're not going to beat themselves.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Hi, Steve. You have, I think, 5 guys on the expanded Olympic roster, who want to participate. Is that something that you would encourage them to do, or do you worry about any injuries that are for non-NBA play or anything like that? And is there any reaction to that?
No, if the players want to play and represent their country, I think it's great. So, there's a risk to get injured anytime you play basketball, and if they're not playing in the Olympics, they'll be playing hopefully in a gym somewhere, staying sharp and working on their game. So we take risks all the time as players, and if our guys have the dream or the will to want to play in the Olympics and are fortunate enough to be on the squad, I wouldn't want to take that away from them.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve, between travel and protocols, obviously you haven't had a lot of time to have your hands on them. I'm curious, have you had this team together long enough to be able to tell how much sharpness they may have lost over the break, or will you have no idea until you tip off tonight?
We have, we haven't had enough. Last night practicing, we scrimmaged a little bit, but it's tough. Like you plan with the performance team, after a number of days off, you don't want to overload them last night. So, I'm not entirely confident that I can answer that question. I think there will be some rust, but hopefully it comes off quickly and we can still execute at both ends.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, I know you're not Sean on this one, but you guys had a couple 10-day contracts expire and have some open roster spots. Do you anticipate getting any additional help there in the near future, or is it going to be this current group for a little bit?
I'd have to pass that question off to Sean. I think, as coaching staff, we're quite happy with where we are. But I couldn't answer that. I think that's more a question for the front office.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Steve, I know Blake practiced with you guys. Do you sense any maybe excitement or a feeling or a mood when you add a guy of that caliber to a team that's already a high-level team?
Yeah, I think everyone's excited to have him. He's an experienced, former All-Star player. So he's somebody that I think is a great teammate, has high IQ, and I think the guys are excited to have him, on our roster. We'll see, how he can impact our team, but he's a talented, intelligent player, and I think our players all really respect him and are excited to have him here.
Matt Brooks, Nets Daily.
Hey, Steve, you've obviously had a week off yourself. First off, I know you're thinking about going on a vacation, so I hope you're able to do that. With the time off, was there anything that you've thought about basketball-wise? Is there philosophies you want to try, things like that? Or has this just been a complete break for you?
A bit of both. I tried to relax and rest, and recharge. At the same time, it's never too far away. So you're obviously thinking about the team, the state of the team, where we're heading, what we're going to face over the coming months. So a lot of thought put into it as well. You know, a lot of thought for very few actionables. When you still have to go through the exercise of thinking, but at the end of the day, we're heading in the right direction, and it's more so being prepared for when things come up. Almost being prepared or predicting adversity and being able to deal with it more soundly when it happens. So I think we're heading in the right place. We want to continue with all the things that we've started, but at the same time, we do think about constantly what we can do to improve those things. Right now, nothing has moved us from where we left off, but we also want to continually, consider what if X happens, what if Y happens, and make sure that we're as prepared as possible to handle adversity and put our team in a position to win regardless of what happens.
Steve Lichtenstein, WFAN.
Hi, Steve. Spacing on offense is a popular topic. Adding Blake gives you opportunities to create more spacing. Yet you guys are crushing teams when you have Bruce Brown and DeAndre Jordan share the court, two guys who score predominantly in the paint. What do you make of that?
Well, teams often double or soft double James and Kyrie. So, that allows Bruce opportunity to catch it in the short roll and attack the basket. And you've got DeAndre camped out there under the basket. So those two playing 2-on-1 or them playing 4-on-3 with the two corner shooters, we found a way to make it work. And, it's not going to work every night. It's not going to work all the time, but those two guys have been great. And James has been able to find them a lot. They've been able to find the cracks and the soft spots in the defense because of the attention that James and Kyrie, warrant. So it's nice that we can find a way that even though, it's not the same gravity with those two on the floor, we still are able to be really effective